Hello, good afternoon and welcome back to the Fish Locker out in Fuerteventura. Tonight we're going to be fishing a beach. Tom and I have come over from the UK. There's a law in Fuerteventura being that you can't fish on the public beaches during the day. You can only fish between like 7 o'clock and daybreak. So we've been out wrecking marks today and we've decided we're going to be fishing on this beach. Fished a rock mark last night and caught a load of stingrays. So it was really slippery. So we've decided that we're going to try an easier mark fishing on a beach tonight for anything and everything. It just looks like it's, well, volcanic pebbles, you can see. It looks like it slopes off and then levels out onto sand. I don't know what we're going to get. It's mainly going to be transiting fish, I reckon, because there's no real features in front of us to hold fish. It's just going to be fish that are swimming up and down the beach. I've got all my rods in me. I only brought minimal tackle because obviously I had to go on a flight. Yeah, the rod's in a rod tube, some tackle in my bag. One of the things as well to know, I will mention, fishing in the Canary Islands is you do need a licence. Now you can get those, you can pick those up when you arrive, or as what we did, you can pay an agent to do it for you, because what you have to do is you have to go in with your passport and you have to go and pick it up and then go to the bank and pay it in. Generally, you lose a day doing it. What all you do is you pay like an extra 20 quid and someone will do it for you, and then they'll just email it to you and then you just print it out and bring it with you, like that. I will put a link in the description of the video from where we got ours from, because it was absolutely hassle free. Yeah, I'll show you all the gear. I only brought minimal gear with me because it all came on a plane, so I'll go through all of that at some point. But yeah, the little rod bags are fantastic. One thing really quickly that I should have mentioned was one of the stipulations, one of the restrictions on that licence being that you can only use 2 rods with a maximum of 3 hooks on each rod. What I'm going to be using a light, it's a Penn Tidal XR, my scratching rod. I'm going to be using any fish anywhere, 6 and bait. And I'm going to be using a spin fisher on a big rod and with a surf blaster on a little rod. Yeah, all I did was I just brought a mixture of little bits of tackle with me. So different weights of line, some pre-raid rigs that I'd knocked up, and some little tubs to keep everything separate. So all I've got in here is I've got my pulley rigs all set up, and all I need to do is just take one out and knock it up, and a little bag of leads. Now these leads actually when these arrived, Hannah was looking at me and she was like, "What have you bought here?" These are from a friend of mine. Craig makes these called Sea Weights, and I've noticed a marked catch rate increase by using these glow in the dark leads. Use them on the boat and the huss just absolutely love them. And I was using them the other night and I outfished Tom with catching bream and I was using these. Yeah, just a few leads, mixture of grips and flats, pair of gloves and a T-bar. All just really simple.
Now some airlines might be different, and I have heard some absolute horror stories, but touch wood, for me it has always been pretty simple, and I just pack most of my stuff in either my hold luggage or my rod tube. Then I checked the rod tube was oversized. I think for this flight I paid an extra 30 quid that got me extra leg room, and I could check oversized sports equipment.
Needless to say, Tom was a little bit stressed about his rod tube. What airport was it again?
Leeds Bradford.
Leeds Bradford, yeah.
Kind lady had just started her shift.
So that's what Leeds Bradford gets you, and that's what Bristol gets you. We have made it to the digs and
Rods aren't damaged.
nothing, touch wood, so far was broken. Yeah, that was the biggest worry, was that the rod tips and things were going to get damaged. So yeah, there's Tom's. We've got various, well I've got two scratching reels, 2 spinning reels and 2 heavy reels. They're all mounted down here. So I've got my 2 any fish anywhere 6 and baits, 2 Penn Tidals and 2 spinning rods as well. And we seem to have brought the British weather with us. Literally got thunder and lightning. Yeah. Oh, well, at least it feels like home. Really quickly, before I lose the light, I'll talk to you about the bait that I'm using. Now, the first few days, couldn't get any fresh bait until we managed to catch our own. Today I managed to get to one of the supermarkets and they had fresh mackerel. Oh, there's a familiar face. Don't recognise these though. What are these? There they are. There they are. Yeah, I think we'll have some of those. So we do have some fresh chub mackerel. Now these are slightly different than the ones we get back in the UK, but they have dots on them and a bigger eye. And on the scratching rigs I'm going to be using frozen prawn and frozen squid. Now, I would say that it's absolutely imperative to get yourself some form of cool box when fishing out here, just because frozen bait does not stay frozen at all. So I picked myself up just a little tiny cool box. Yeah, for a couple of quid. In fact, it was at the Chinatown. It only cost a few quid, and it's the frozen bait. I got a couple of freezer bags, put a little bit of water in them, put them in the freezer, part of the refrigerator at home. So I've made my own freezer blocks as well. Let's get some baits out. Right, sun's just about to go down. Yeah. On my big rod, I've got a pen spin fisher 7,500. And any fish anywhere 6 and bait. Right, it's £60 braid on both, and I've got an £80 Rovex 10 times rubbing leader to a swivel, and it's just a pulley rig. And this one I have a very juicy mackerel fillet. See, juice is dropping out of it. And on the other rod, it's a Pentidal XR420, and I've got a surf blaster. This has got a lighter leader on it, and all I'm fishing is I'm just fishing one of my 2-hook scratching rigs, and this has got little bits of squid and a little glow in the dark flotation bead. Now this lead, you can see it, look how much that glows already. Yeah, so that's ready to go out. We're getting these baits sent out, and I might put my trousers and my jumper on, because that wind's coming over, and them clouds that he's bringing with it, it is getting a little bit chilly. Not UK chilly, but still chilly. I've just come down here to see how Tom's getting on. Straight away, you've had a little baby smooth-down pup, haven't you?
Coming on mackerel bait.
Big hooks or little hooks?
4 rows.
Oh, so he's a greedy little guy, isn't he?
He had a good go.
Lean as well, very lean. But yeah, here in the Canaries, they go to like £40. In the UK, I mean, they top out like £20, don't they?
Yeah, Rich record's what, 23, I think.
That's good, you're off the blank.
To start.
Go on.
I just actually got my eyes to sleep and got comfortable, and then it rudely awoke me.
So just got yourself comfortable.
Just got a nice piece of polystyrene sheet we made, and yeah.
So this was fish tight, like tight inside, wasn't it?
No exaggeration, within 5 metres from the shore.
What type of bite do you get off it? Just run off?
Right. Poking around a lot, but we haven't played anything in the shallow water yet. So.
That your leader knot? The
yeah.
water that fish is in must only be about what?
Knee deep.
Yeah. Oh, is it a butterfly? Is it?
I think it's just the sand, isn't it? That's kicking it off. Tried those specimen extras, so I'm a bit nervous. Played one of these hooks before, but not one of these.
It's just not budging, is it?
It's sucking itself to the bottom, isn't it? You know it's not very deep when your lead's hanging out.
Yeah. That's what a good friend I am. Tell you what, it's a big one, but the worrying part is the size of that spike on there, look. Well, unhook him, tide's on its way in, so that'll take him off in a second. Yeah, I'll go and get a measure on it. 110 wide. Oh, wow, kind of soft. I'll T-bar it off, mate. It's got another line in its mouth.
Has it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like a scratching rig or something outside. It's only a thin line that though, what's the other one? Yeah, what, £10 if that's that.
There you go, just bending the hook out as well.
That'll be right, that.
Yeah, let's just face it right way now. There he goes. Well,
Yeah, thank you. Thought I'd try one of those red specimen extras.
is that one just mackerel?
Yeah, I didn't get a touch on garfield. Put mackerel on, it's been out 5 minutes.
Okay.
Coincidental or not, we'll see.
There we are. Mackerel and squid wrap. 6/0 meat hook J and a 6/0 chinner was the pennel. Yeah. The gutter rod here. First of all, it just kind of went and started pulling drag off. And I've just had a couple of like twangs. And it's not got fully slack drag. So it's You found a little tiny one. Tell you what, this is going to be one of the most difficult ones to deal with, just by the turning circle of them. Yeah. Right. I can't grip its tail, it's too slippy. But yeah.
Is that that's diamond?
It's a different type of stinger. But there's the stinger. You can see what type of a turning circle they have on it, can't you? Yeah. Someone like that killed Steve Irwin. You get all the way up here, he'd swing that tail round and stick you. We just need to find his great-great-granddad down now, don't we? You can try and grab it, mate, but it's slippery as hell.
Yeah, the other ones are quite rough as well.
Yeah. Well done.
Thank you.
It's swinging that tail round like he is, trying to get you, because he's got two barbs in his tail. Yeah, those eyes are just beautiful, aren't they? A little stunner. Perfection in miniature, that guy. So then he can swings it right up, and he even this size, he's still properly going for you. Let's give him a look and send him back. We might need a bigger tub for his mum. Yeah, close. See the thorn sticking out there now. Do you want to just send him back, mate?
Yeah, just send him whenever you want.
Yep.
Yeah, so that little stingray was just on this three up clip down. Plain lead. Flattened off a little bit so it didn't roll too easily, and just size 2 cameras and hooks. Just a flatty rig really.
Just scratching about for anything, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, got the fish.
Tom and I fished a mark last night called Windsurfer Beach, and it was hard going. I lost 2 fish right at my feet. One spat the hook, and the other one I got all tangled up in the other rod while I was messing about turning the lights in the camera on. So yeah, that one was completely my own fault. Then this happened. Apparently in Fuerteventura, it doesn't rain very often, but when it does, it really means it. Fuerteventura is the second largest of the Canary Islands, and is situated roughly 100 kilometres from the north coast of Africa. There is a population of around 120,000, and the majority of those live along the east coast. Now, Puerto de Rosario is the capital, and that's just north of the airport. The place where we're staying is called Caleta, and that's mainly made up of holiday homes. It is pretty much expat central, and the place you're most likely to find a full English breakfast, for those interested.
Yeah, Caleta here where we are, it's about 5 miles south of the airport. Between here and the airport, I'll tell you what, there's some funny shells. Some nice ones. Yeah, between here and the airport, there's a few nice spots. There's a Hyperdino, there's a Lidl, and there's a big Chinatown. So straight away from the airport, on our way to these digs, we managed to pick up a few of the things that we needed. I think I'll turn around. Just seen a sign there and it says there's a nudist beach, so go this way. Turn the camera off and go back that way. At some point last night, while we were out fishing, or around this morning, our channel, The Fish Locker, surpassed the milestone of 300,000 subscribers. Now that's just incredible. I don't even. Yeah. Well, I don't even know how to say, but it's a surreal. It's surreal that something that's just sharing what we know and what we love doing in a simple and honest way as what we do has reached and has been appreciated by so many people. So thank you very much. Tom's just trotting about down there. He's at shop. He scratched his leg last night, so he's trying to get some for that. slippy, isn't it?
Just a bit.
But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to treat us to a steak to celebrate. See you later. We've just stopped for a little snack before we go out and hit it hard, haven't we? So yeah, that's somewhere that I would definitely recommend for a steak. Fredo's Rock Restaurante. Gorgeous steak.